Hi, I'm Tina Santoro, creator of the Yonan Bo saga, an epic adventure series full of captivating characters and immersive storytelling set in a unique world. Today, we'll continue to take a closer look at the third book within the series, A Seers Past, where Yonan Bo has gone into a deep vision state, entering the place of the seers, known as the In-Between. This will be the last of the six-part series. More on what's to come next a little later on. But for now, let's get started examining a few of the rulers from the past with plots of power. This time period is associated with Koulle, Zingu, and Ivonne, occurring chronologically after the rule of Ashta, the son of Mandu, leading up to the rule of Zingu's son, Vito. This era is marked by efforts of unification, conflict, political maneuvering, and the establishment of new traditions. Here's a quick look at the head rulers and advisors. Koulle is listed as the ruler who came after Ashta. He won the games, which led to the unification of the North and South, bringing about a period of peace and prosperity. During Koulle's rule, he decreed a time of celebration for the bounty of gathering at Site Atri. He was credited for the return of the gods to his people and events that were held to honor them. He appointed Lenyu as the teller of days, who explained the importance of the moon symbols in guiding the people for traveling, hunting, gathering, and predicting river floods. Koulle's lineage continues as Pertu, a later rival to the ruler Vito, is identified as a grandson of Koulle's from one of his daughter wives. Senu was the ruler who followed Koulle. He attempted to reunite the people of the North and the South, and those from the past. Senu wanted to grant permission to the previously banned people back into the main group, an action that greatly angered Ivonne. Senu is noted for having declared that chaos was at an end. He had seen an event performed by the people of the city called Avalazon, which demonstrated the making of fabric and explained the roles of the gods. His time was abruptly ended when Ivonne engineered a poisonous plan to kill him and the key fathers of the North and the South. Zingu, the son of Ashta, succeeded Senu as ruler, inheriting power after Yvonne's plot to kill Senu was successful. Zingu is known as the rightful stone finder. He ushered in a new era. It was like his father Ashta, believing he was the son of the sun god above and did not fear chaos. His rule focused on implementing new ways and solidifying his legitimacy. Ivonne advised Zingu to use the story of a previous solar eclipse during Ashta's rule when Enox claimed dominance over Lu as the foundation point for declaring these new ways. Zingu's effort included retrieving or remaking the stones. Oris recounts that Zingu met men at the Cave of Many Colors to retrieve the original telling stones that were stolen during his father Ashta's rule, finding new raw materials necessary to remake them instead. Zingu's era is associated with establishing new traditions, possibly including the monthly feast, based on an old weaving that showed the mother goddess peace above all. Ivonne is primarily known for his actions and influence during the transition of power between Senu and Zingu. Ivonne was fiercely opposed to Zingu's unification policies, believing Zingu had lost his mind by allowing previously banned people back into the main group. Ivonne led a conspiracy to secure the ingredients needed to make the poison sheet and planned to use the resulting death of Senu to secure the new leadership via the games, promising to reunite the people. After Senu's death, Ivonne became a key older advisor to Zingu. He was instrumental in developing Zingu's political strategies, urging Zingu to leverage the history of the solar eclipse during Ashta's time to declare the rise of the South. His influence extended to the creation of the new site's specifically celebrations, suggesting performances events similar to what Koulle had performed, and promoting the ways using the intoxicating drink from the people of the South to sway the older population towards these new ways. Now, let's take a deeper look into each of these integral key figures from the past. We'll follow Yonan Bo's vision dreams, where he discovers the tangled web of lies and betrayals, all for the glory of power. Koulle stands apart from his immediate predecessors, Mandu and Ashta, primarily due to the way he achieved power and the subsequent era of peace and religious stability he ushered in. The unification through the games. Koulle's rule began after the period of conflict and division. What set him apart was that he won the games. The victory resulted in the unification of the North and South, ushering in a time of peace and prosperity. The games were explicitly declared as a truce agreed upon by the eldest leaders of both sides, who suffered losses during the ongoing strife. And the people agreed to accept the winner as the ruler of both sides, reuniting the North and South similar to the days of Babette. This contrasts sharply with the assumption of rule by his immediate predecessors, Ashta, who declared chaos as the new god. Ashta's rule had been characterized by banning people, causing more people to leave, and initiating the fighting between the North and the South. Religious and spiritual reform. Koulle is credited with a significant religious shift by returning the gods to his people. This was a key contrast to Ashta, who had previously declared chaos as a new god that the people must worship. Under Koulle, events were held to honor these returning gods. He also notably appointed Lenu as the teller of days. Lenu's role was to explain the importance of the moon symbols, to guide the people for travel, for hunting, gathering, and predicting the river floods. This established new official functions and astronomical knowledge that guided the community's practical life. Restoration of legacy. Koulle's victory directly led to the restoration of the earlier unification of goals of Babette, reuniting the North and the South. Through Koulle was descended from Babette through a daughter wife. His authority was affirmed by proving himself worthy through competition by winning the games, rather than simply inheriting a stable kingdom. During his rule, Senu focused on political and spiritual unifications, but his policies ultimately led to his assassination by inherited rivals. Political actions and beliefs. Senu, the ruler who succeeded Koulle, dedicated his time to healing the division left by previous conflicts. Unification efforts. He attempted to reunite the people of the North and South with those who had been previously banned, left to live over on the other side of the Great Divide. His advisory council held discussions with key political figures from both regions, Alton, Calston, and Tulson of the South, and Maku, Nothu, and Podon of the North. Religious declarations. Senu famously declared that chaos was at an end. Cultural exchange. Senu had interactions with the people of the city of Avalazon. He witnessed events performed by the people of Avalazon. This performance demonstrated making of fabric and explained the roles of the gods. Conspiracy and death. Senu's reign was abruptly ended by a conspiracy led by Ivonne, who violently opposed Senu's attempts to reunification and believed that Senu had lost his mind. The plot. Ivonne devised a plan to kill Senu, along with the key fathers of the North and South, to eliminate leadership favoring Senu's policies. The weapon. he needed to secure the ingredients to make the poison she. Ivonne intended to disguise Senu's murder as an illness, explaining that his healing powers were not strong enough to save him, mirroring the supposed fate of the previous ruler, Koulle. Zingu, the son of Ashta and rightful stone finder, ushered in a new era marked by several significant governmental, religious, and cultural changes, many of which were advised by Ivonne. Those policies and new rituals became established traditions during his rule and continued into the time of his son, Vito. Key traditions and changes Zingu started or solidified include establishing political and religious authority. Zingu established his rule by implementing new ways, leveraging the past to lineagize his power. Son of the Sun designation. Zingu took it upon himself to establish a new tradition because he was recognized as the Son of the Sun for banishing chaos. This title stemmed from Zingu's decision, advised by Ivonne, to declare that chaos foretold had already passed during the event and death of his father, Ashta. Time rotation offering. The core tradition established ways was requirement for the people to bow at the ruler's feet and offer their rations. These offerings were made to the Son of the Sun for continued protection from the threats of flood, droughts, severe rain, and bad winter storms, or the return of chaos. Zingu's attempt to erase the memory of predecessors Zingu ordered by the people not to speak of him ever again. Zingu is known as the Stone Finder, and his era saw the creation of the stones used for divination. Creation of the stones. Zingu sent men to retrieve the original telling stones that were stolen during his father Ash's rule. When the originals were hidden, the men instead found new raw materials necessary to remake the stones. Ivonne later revealed he engineered these new stones, incorporating various symbols into 29 stones, 2 for each moon turn, 1 for the north, 1 for the south, and 1 blank stone. The purpose of the stones. These remade stones were intended to be the true telling stones that provided the insights to life itself. New recording methods. Ivonne helped develop a new system using specialized treatment of papyrus shavings called paper. Stain them with the sumbus berry oils. This material was used to record site stays, deaths, births, and laws, moving beyond rocks used solely to tell of the site stays. Cultural and semiral practices. Zingu instituted cultural practices and advised Ivonne based upon traditions but adapted consolidation over Zingu's power. Monthly site celebrations and feasts. Zingu's era is associated with the beginning of the monthly feast. This idea stemmed from an old weaving depicted the mother goddess Peace. Ivonne suggested performing performances each event similar to those held by Koulle at each site. Specific site worship. Ivonne proposed that during the traveling period, each site should have its own designated god or goddess to protect and watch over it. These performances were to be held at the evening of the group's departure of the site. The intoxicating drink. To ensure the acceptance of these new ways, Ivonne suggested providing at the feast that included a new intoxicating drink created by those of the South to sway the older population. Zingu stated that the traditions of teaching the young these new ways, this included ensuring the children received lessons by the gods, taught by Puncham and Bhutan. Zingu oversaw the construction of his head ruler quarters above the people. ensuring he resided physically elevated over the community, which Yvonne claimed would be pleasing to his main wife, Koulle. Zingu was willing to provide privileges to others, such as a high seat at the feast, to individuals who possess needed knowledge to solidify his dominance. As mentioned in the beginning, this is the last installment of the key figures from the visions dreams of Yonan Bo. Next time, we'll take a look at the great wars between the city of Avalon and the travelers of the north and south, a time before the construction of the great city. This will be in preparation for the fourth installment of the Saga series, Awaken. It takes place during Book 3 and moves forward to the dead of winter, to the promise of spring. Only the inhabitants of the great city face additional battles to come from the people on the other side of Big River and those left from the fallen city of Avalon. Will Yonan Bo learn from the past in order to prevent the wars from even beginning? Or will he be unable to stop the wheels of time from spinning in their proper order and have to face the enemy head on? Are you ready for the wars to come? Grab your copies of the Yonan Bo series today, and don't forget to shop my products to gear up for the battle. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.